if you look at Pokemon, right, it is the largest single media franchise in the world. Right. It's 3 times bigger than Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's 3 times bigger than Harry Potter. It's 2 times bigger than Mickey Mouse. Right. 2.5 times bigger than Star Wars. Right. So it's an enormous IP. So buying into the TCG in a way is almost like making a bet on Nintendo, making a bet on the Pokemon company and their future performance. Well, nobody would have thought, right? Like back then, I recall, first edition booster box would go something like what? $80 retail, wholesale, something like that, $80 US, right? Now it's like 100,000. Your Charizards, your Pikachus, right? Those always do quite well. They're like your blue chips. If you had started out, right, like 15, 20 years ago, right, and you just bought like, it's not even like the older stuff, right? It's like the mid-vintage stuff.
Yeah.
It would have done better than your Apples, your Nvidias, right? Your all these like things like the AI. It would have outperformed even like Bitcoin. The real test is when the corrections happen. Do these shops have holding power to stay? Ascended Heroes, Mega Dream, amazing set.
Amazing set.
Yeah. These are hard to find. Yes, these are hard to find. Hey.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the A to Z podcast. And today I have something interesting. So I've gotten into this over the past couple months, and I also started AE Collectibles to document this journey. So what are we talking about today? It is the A to Z of Pokemon cards. And today I have Etienne from Champions Legacy. He's a former consultant turned card store owner, and you can find his store at Pasar TCG in Shah Alam. And it's somewhere actually I go quite often to get my fix of, cards.
Thank you.
Right. And so Etienne has a very interesting story. So like most of us, we came from corporate. So can you just share a bit about your backstory? What happened? How did you end up here?
So I was a management consultant at Bain & Company, and I had spent a bit of time in the corporate world, like 6, 7-ish years. And there was always this question that was at the back of my head, right? Like, what if I took a bet on myself? What if I went out and tried to do my own thing? And I always thought that, there are a lot of people out there, I feel, maybe they are, less talented than me, but they're so much more successful than me. And I wanted to be one of those people.
Okay.
Yeah, so, one day I decided I got tired of doing all the PowerPoint slides, which is, as you get up in corporate, you just keep doing more and more PowerPoint slides at a higher level, but it's all just slides in Excel,
Right.
And that kind of at some point it feels a little bit banal to me. I wanted to try and see whether I could try to do something myself and make something of myself, and so I decided I'd quit my job, and I didn't think I'd do Pokemon at first, right? I kind of just.
But why Pokemon? Yeah, actually, so many things that you can do.
No, I mean, it's doesn't seem like a very serious industry to try, but I fell into it. It was an accident, like a lot of things are, right? I was actually supposed to be in pharmaceuticals.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I did explore a little bit of pharmaceuticals. I did explore a little bit of wellness. I did think of like vending machines, that kind of thing, and one thing led to another. The pharmaceuticals business didn't do so well. KKM wasn't very pleased with the when the products came to customs at the border. So there's quite a number of issues with it, and that kind of stalled, and I couldn't just sit on my hands and do nothing for like 9 months, right? Waiting for a new permit and all that, right? So just I had one guy, one of my hires. So he works at the shop now, Aloysius. He kind of just suggested to me, why don't you try this Pokemon thing?
Right.
And I didn't kind of believe it. I mean, I've been in the hobby for a bit, right? But I also didn't kind of believe that Pokemon was something that I could live off of, right? And I told him, you got to prove it to me. And he proved it to me. And it's done quite well, especially this year. This year's been it's a bull run. The market has done quite well. My business is doing fairly all right. Not as good as I want it to be, but
can be better.
It can always be better. Yeah, it can always be better.
Right.
But it's done well. And I don't make as much money as I used to make as a very fancy management consultant, right? But I feel like I've learned more in the last 1 year doing it than I have, making the PowerPoint slides. Right.
Okay, coming from a consultant, I just want to ask you this. You might have analyzed this whole industry. What made you actually step in? What was the pros and cons of going into Pokemon?
Well, the main pro is that Aloysius proved to me that I could make money. Right. The margins were all right. You know, there's a very real shortage of supply in the market, right? So there's quite a bit of an arbitrage that you can do there, right? From imports and reselling and all that kind of stuff. Especially if you build out a network and you know where to find the products.
Right.
I think we started sealed, and then we went into singles and slabs and all that, right? And then I think, you know, generally singles you see a bit better margins, and there's also a lot more diversification, differentiation in singles. There are thousands of singles, thousands and thousands of singles in various degrees of condition as well, right? So quite a lot of things that you can do in the market.
And I think you mentioned that this has been a bull run. So when there's a bull run, there's a lot of competition that comes to the market because there's money to be made. You know, does this mean that as we go, the competition is going to get more, there's going to be more suppliers, more of you guys in the market?
Yeah, I'd say so. Generally, I don't view competition as a bad thing. I think it's good for the industry. I think it helps getting all these people to come in. It actually helps to build the industry, generates a lot more chit chat, chatter around it, right? More hype around it also, and then these people also help to grow the industry. Right. I mean, we talk a bit about singles, right? There are like thousands and thousands of singles. So there's no one guy who can have all the singles, you know. So there's always going to be like a bunch of people with various different types of things available, and you'll see that there's quite a lot of interesting things. And Pokemon's been around for 30 years, right? So over the last 30 years, there's been like prints of thousands of different types of product,
right.
And the Pokemon IP is not just the cards, right? You actually find that there's a little bit overlap. Bookmarks are being traded, stickers are being traded also, right? So quite a lot of things, a lot of things to play with.
It's not just a trading card game, you know. There's so much more. Recently, next year they're going to open a theme park as well. So it's a whole Pokemon IP that you're banking on.
Yes. It's a very good IP, very very large IP. It's actually a lot bigger than I expected.
Right. So when do you actually start going into this Pokemon thing? Like, what year did you start?
When did I start?
Yeah, like this business.
Around March, I started. This year. Then we did like online a bit, streaming. There was a streaming setup a bit that was very stressful, right? Yeah, streaming is a lot harder than you might think it is, right? It's very fun. It looks very fun, but it's actually a lot harder and it's a bit awkward. You know, you're talking to yourself. It feels like most of the time.
You need to hype yourself up, you know.
Yeah.
It feels like your own like kind of thing.
You do.
And okay, so Pokemon, talking about the hype, I think it reached its peak when actually someone sold his whole collection in Malaysia also for 1.8 million ringgit.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that was the peak of Pokemon. You know, the news even got to the States and everything, people talking about it. How did that actually change the landscape of Pokemon, and what are your thoughts on that?
So Damiral's deal, right? The 1.8 million, is a guy called Damiral, right? He's a cool guy. He did a very public deal, 1.8 million. They did it at TCG KL at the Royal Chulan Hotel, I believe on somewhere at the start of November. 1.8 million, you know, on paper sounds very large, right? It's a very public, very large, a bit high profile. Everyone around the world was kind of talking about it. It was in the news. But again, Pokemon's been around for 30 odd years, and even though 1.8 million seems very large, right? In terms of all the transactions that are happening within the hobby, right? It's actually not that large.
Oh, okay.
It's not. Yeah. So if you think about like some of the biggest deals in Pokemon, highest traded card, auction card was this 1996 Japanese Pikachu illustrator, right?
Logan Paul.
The Logan Paul. That sold somewhere around $5 million US. Right. Recently as well, I believe 5 months ago, there was a listing on eBay. 67 cards, one collection, $9 million US.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so while this deal was very public and generated a lot of hype around it, it was caught in the news, right? There are actually a lot of private deals happening globally that are to the same level of value or even greater, right? And even locally, I would imagine, right, that there are quite a number of deals happening that trades in the hundreds of thousands.
Right. And I think a lot of people then might, compare it to traditional investments, if I can make that much return, why not just buy Pokemon cards? So my thesis on it is not exactly thesis that with Pokemon cards, you need to sell to someone to make that profit, right? Or else you're just sitting on
paper gains,
right? And how liquid is the Pokemon market right now?
I'd say that it's by no means a traditional investment asset, right? Yeah, it's quite a quite niche. But if we talk about liquidity, right? My rule of thumb generally is that anything above 5,000 ringgit becomes a little bit less liquid.
Okay.
Right. But if it's below 5K, it's generally quite liquid. You know, I see quite a lot of do like hundreds of transactions a day, right? On some of these smaller cards, right? So for me, it's quite high value. Of course, you got to find a buyer, right? But it's generally a fairly liquid asset to me, right? You could probably dispose of it in a matter of days.
It's just
even.
finding the right person who actually wants
finding the right buyer, correct? And even if you're dealing in transactions of like hundreds of thousands, millions, even, right? If for the right price, there will be someone who will pick it up.
Right. So as long as you can, willing buyer, willing seller kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And with Pokemon cards, so I recently got back into the hobby, I think 3 months back. The first person that I actually talked to was actually Aloysius. I went to Pasar TCG. I just asked him, what do I get? This is my first time back. And he recommended me some packs. And after that, I've learned that, okay, you have singles, you have slab, you have seal, and then now you have all the auxiliary products and everything.
Yeah.
What does someone goes? I don't know. Where do you start? What does someone goes for when they go to a card shop?
Well, probably you should start with buying a binder. Right?
Yes,
that's the first thing that you should probably do. That's where you're going to keep your cards in. And you'd probably want to start off with some of the newer, more modern products. If affordability is an issue, which sometimes it is for some people, right? Especially now, right? You're getting your English packs at like 50 ringgit, 40, 50 ringgit, even like 100, 200 ringgit, right? And then the cards going into the thousands, right? Then you might want to start like with a Japanese language or Chinese language, right? Those tend to be a bit more affordable.
Right.
Of course, less sought after. Right, and Japanese is quite popular still, right? So I generally suggest Japanese, but you probably look into some of the more modern sets. Those are a bit more affordable, and they're also more recent, more relevant. You get cards in better condition, and then you can start exploring things like, back when I was a kid, I liked Rayquaza from the Emerald game, like, for example. And Aloysius likes Rayquaza.
Okay,
I'm more of a Whooper kind of guy from Gen 3.
Right.
Then you can look into more a bit of the vintage, the mid-vintage, right? Some of the older card stuff, right? And so you can do like a master set of some of your favorite Pokemon, right? But generally just go and do what you like, enjoy the hobby, find the cards that you like, the art that you like. It's not always about the value, right? Probably invest a little bit in some sleeves and some top loaders so that you can preserve the condition of your cards into the future, right? These are investments, nobody would have thought, right? Like back then, I recall, first edition booster box would go something like what, $80 retail, wholesale, something like that, $80 US, right? Now it's like 100,000.
Yeah, I've been looking at those videos.
Yeah. So do take care of your cards, do take care of your investments. Ideally, if you're here for investment purposes, right, you want to keep your products sealed, right? That means with the shrink wrap intact, right? And so there are no holes in it. Keep it in a dry place where it won't grow mold, and then you just kind of forget about it for like about 5 years or so, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You say Pokemon cards as investments, so why? Or what's the reasoning behind it? How do you see it as an investment?
So the underlying, to me, right, at least the underlying valuation of the Pokemon cards, right, and any TCG more broadly, right, is always supported by the value of the underlying brand IP.
All right.
Right. And if you look at Pokemon, right, it is the largest single media franchise in the world.
Right.
Right. It's 3 times bigger than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's 3 times bigger than Harry Potter. It's 2 times bigger than Mickey Mouse. Right. 2.5 times bigger than Star Wars. Right. So it's an enormous IP. Right. Actively managed by the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. They have a vested interest in keeping the TCG relevant as well. Right. So buying into the TCG in a way is almost like making a bet on the IP, on the brand, making a bet on Nintendo, making a bet on the Pokemon Company and their future performance. Right. And as long as the IP is actively managed, as long as the IP is well managed and it continues to succeed in the future, right, it will continue to do quite well. There's like some people who would suggest, right, like it's all nostalgia and all this kind of thing, right? But there's nostalgia only really takes you so far, right? There are quite a lot of things that people are nostalgic about, but they haven't done quite as well as Pokemon, right? And the main reason is because the IP, the brand, is being well managed and actively managed today.
Right. So think about it as when you're buying the cards, you're something like buying a stock of Nintendo. You're betting on
you're betting on Nintendo.
Nintendo, right? And So when it comes to investing, people talk about, hey, buy sealed products, keep them, and then another one is buy chase cards. Some that they actually go for chase cards because those are the one that actually has the highest value.
Yeah.
But again, it's very, very volatile. What are your thoughts on getting, like, let's say, chase cards? Because those are one that maybe in 5 to 10 years' time, they are the most sought after because you say nostalgia and those kind of things where you didn't get it last time. Now, you kind of have the money to get it.
Yeah. Generally, I feel that, we speak about volatility. Most of the volatility you probably see within the first 2 or 3 years of when the card is produced, when the set's produced, right? And that's just because it's still within the print cycles, right? You still get it. It's very recent. There's a lot of demand for it. A lot of there's still like supply being dropped in the market that suddenly will appear somewhere and that will cause the price to come down, right? But generally, chase cards are valuable because they are the rarer cards in the set, right? Something like you pull it maybe once in every 100 or 500 packs or so, right? Or even rarer, right? For specific chase cards, right? Your SIRs, your SARs, right? So it's quite basic economics, like why it carries a lot of value, right? It's a beautiful art, it's exclusive, limited supply, right? And it's hard to get out of the packs, and so as a result, it just carries a high price, right? It's basic supply and demand, right? And then they play on some of the favorites, right? Your Charizards, your Pikachus, right? Those always do quite well. They're like your blue chips.
Yeah,
they're like your blue chips in
Charizard,
in
Pikachu,
Pokemon. Charizard, Pikachu, Gengar. Gengar is very popular, right? Gengar, Snorlax. Right, so these are like, to me, like the blue chips, the tier ones of Pokemons, right? And so depending on the art, depending on the Pokemon, right, depending on like even where the words are placed on the card, if there's any like errors, the condition, right, all these play into the value of the cards, and getting something that's rare in pristine condition is actually quite difficult.
Yeah, so that's why your top loaders and sleeves very important.
Yeah, but not even that, right? Like you pull it out of the packs for with defects from the manufacturer, right? And that also plays into like when you send it for grading, whether it's going to command like 2-3x the price, or is it going to actually just be like a raw card price?
Right. So if you're talking about condition, if you're buying a card, would you buy it, raw, or would you buy it as a slab?
I think this comes down to personal preference, right? A lot of it's personal preference. If I just want to have it in my binder, it looks nice, I want to keep it there, then of course you buy the raw card. But a lot of people, they want to get something in very good condition. They want to put it into a slab. It becomes like an investable piece. It becomes like something they have on a shelf, right? And then they can say that they own like a PSA 10 pristine, near perfect condition copy of this specific card, right? It's a lot more valuable than a raw card, like sometimes 2-3x more valuable, even more than that possible as well, right? So getting it slapped up, right, is also another way to preserve the condition, the value of the card, and to enhance the value of the card as well.
Right, so it's like a certification stamp, and then you put it in a safe. So the slab is the one that keeps the condition of the card.
Yeah. You put it into a plastic, right? In theory, it should preserve the condition of your card, right? As long as you don't expose it like some direct sunlight or something, right?
And
you're gonna get sun bleached. But yes, generally in theory, it's a stamp of approval from some authorities on a PSA, Beckett, CGC, tag, whatever, right? And it is a stamp that says this card is in perfect condition, in a 10 condition, or which is generally what people look for. Nobody wants 9s. So a few people want 9s or 8s, right? But everyone wants the 10.
Yeah, 10 is the mark of excellence, and then 9 is if you just want it,
Yeah, 10's a gold standard.
10's a gold standard. All right?
10's the gold standard.
And I think another thing that people are getting into more now is the artists. People are collecting. I think recently is
Shinji Kanda,
Akira Igawa, right? Even the latest Charizard and Gengar is by the same artist. So what would you say about to collect them as art pieces? What do you say? If you think we frame collecting Pokemon as art pieces, what do you say to that?
I think it's always been a piece of art, right? And from the very start, they've always attributed the card art to an illustrator, and then many of the illustrators, they have a very long-standing relationship with the Pokemon company. They've done like hundreds and hundreds of cards, right? Shinji Kanda, for example, right, has been around since Neo Genesis or something like that, right? And that's like very vintage, and he's produced quite a number of very popular cards. You got like the Giratina from Lost Origin. You've got the Oricorio from most recent set, the one you find in the UPC promo, right? So these artists, they're very popular. Their art styles are very popular. They've also been around for a very long time, right? And I wouldn't treat it any differently from the fine arts. It is an artist that they put in the work. They've got an art style, right? And their cards are valuable, and people like the art, and they will spend the time doing like a master set of Shinji Kanda, master set of Nukamori, right? And they want to collect all the cards from these artists, right? So I wouldn't say it's very much different from going to a art gallery in Ilham Gallery or something like that. It's not very much different.
So you think about it as art pieces that you can keep in your pocket.
I wouldn't keep it in my pocket, right? Art pieces you keep in a binder, right? Yeah.
So like I think recently I saw the felt hat Pikachu was doing for like $2,000-$3,000, and then ringgit, and then there's
more than that.
More than that now. I saw that in the still in the packet kind of thing.
Sealed.
Sealed
copy.
All right. And actually, one thing that actually hit the news recently, actually very fresh, is the tax on Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Especially in Malaysia, we do get hit with, I think, 30% tax.
Yeah, very painful. Very, very, very painful.
I don't think a lot of people are aware about that when we come to collecting cards. Can you just share a bit more about that? How does that affect us?
Well, I learned the hard way, right? And I'll explain how the tax kind of works, right? The tax has always been there, right? It's just that customs made a clarification recently. I think the customs officers are getting a bit more educated as well. They kind of know what's coming in and that it's valuable. So when they see Pokemon cards come in, they know that this thing's got some value. Generally, the tax works 10% import duties, depending where it's from. The US will definitely get it. And that's where it's printed, right? 10% excise duties, right? So, like tobacco and alcohol, they all get excise. So in the same way, playing cards, trading cards also experience like a 10% excise duty. And then there's like 10% sales tax. And the worst part about it is that it's 10% on 10% on 10%.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not actually 30%. It's more like 33+%.
It's taxed.
It's taxed, yeah. And it's not just on the value of the product, right? It's like value of the product plus the shipping all together. Then they apply the thing, right? So it's very painful. I think it hurts the industry. Right. It also means that, generally Malaysia lags a bit behind a lot of other countries. Our prices also tend to be a bit more uncompetitive versus other places. The Singaporeans enjoy lower prices, so it hurts the consumers as well. It causes a bit of a margin compression for the vendors, so it hurts the vendors as well, right? And of course, LHDN wants their fair share.
Yep.
Right. But 33% for me seems quite steep. Right. It's 9% in Singapore. Yeah, it's just 9% in Singapore.
I think 9 to 10% is still within
still fair.
You take your cut, understand,
All right. I dare say that even if they took it off, right, it's just gut feeling. I haven't done any analysis around it, right? But I dare say that if they took it off, right, the market would definitely grow. Right, and LHDN might actually collect more taxes in income tax from the vendors that they do well. They earn more, so they spend more locally as well in SST and all that.
I mean, you stimulate the economy and everything, it snowballs from there.
Yeah,
and I've also recently realized that there are more card shops opening around the area. I'm not sure whether that's a new thing that I just realized, or it has been happening for quite some time.
Well, it's cyclical, right? The business, Pokemon, right? So you get your bull runs, you get your corrections. So barriers to entry very low, right? You don't really need very much, right? A 15-year-old could do it.
Right.
There's a 17-year-old guy that I know who's dealing in the hundreds of thousands now.
Okay.
Just from Pokemon, right? And you don't really need much, right? You just need to have the resolve to learn how the industry works. Not very difficult, right? It's all open information. It's near perfect competition. Right, everyone's kind of selling things at roughly the same prices. I think this is one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, right? When in how to value the cards, right? There's a spot market, right? And you definitely know, right? On all the apps,
so
Shiny, eBay, Lasso, TCG Player, right? and that like indicates the valuation of those games. So it becomes very easy for people to come in and be like, yeah, this card is worth this much. How much should I buy it for? I'm going to buy it at some kind of margin if I'm going to buy it all in bulk, right? So barriers to entry is quite low. There are a lot of small players, right? And rightfully so, right? It is a trading card game, right? So there's always going to be space for a lot of small players to come and play, and participate in the market. I think a good thing, right? Because then it kind of trains like in this entrepreneurship for a lot of people as well, right? In a relatively low stakes, low risk kind of environment. You know, there's not a lot of capital that you need, right? You don't need to foot like. You don't even need a shop. You know, you don't even need to foot like the enormous bill to open up the shop and do rental and renovations and all that. All you really need is like a little bit of modal to buy your cards, right? And then you just go and like sell it on Facebook, which is free, right? By the way.
Yeah, I've done quite a few deals there. Very easy.
And then you like go like maybe to like an MCOP mall where the table's like $50, right? Or $80. I don't recall what's the pricing now, right? But it's very, very low barriers to entry, very cheap, right? And then you just got to take care of your cards, right? And sell it, right? So if I've had like these 15-year-old kids, right? They come and they do a bunch of the trades, right? And they make some good money out of it, good pocket money out of it, right? So it's very natural to me that a lot of these card shops will emerge when you're in a bull run. Because it's very easy to open a card shop, right? And you don't really need very much to do so, right? And market does well. There's always going to be space for these people to operate. The real test is when the corrections happen, as it's happening now, and it will probably, a bigger one will probably come sometime. I expect Q3, Q4, right? That's just generally what the market thinks is going to happen. When that crunch happens, right? Do these shops have holding power to stay? Right, and you know it's been for around 30 years, right? We've seen a lot of the cycles, and there've been several bull runs, there've been several crashes, right? And it's been several times in the news as well, right? It's not just a recent thing, right? It's just more recently it's become a lot bigger. But with all the cycles, the market has continued to grow. It's continued to do well. So of course it feels a lot bigger now because it is a lot bigger now. But once it does correct a little bit, which it will, right? The music will stop, right? Then you'll see a lot of these people will probably exit as well, right?
So it's just like COVID, you know, when COVID hit, then whoever's left remaining are the ones that actually thrive after that. And I think in the TCG market is about the same thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about like some conventional wisdom in your equity markets and your stocks, right? It's not really about timing the market. It's more about time in the market,
so
right?
Who can hold on to
who can hold, right? And see the upside, and then this will be the people who probably in the long run will do quite well. I mean, you look at the S&P 500 and then compare it to how Pokemon has performed, right? Pokemon has done like something like 8 times better than the S&P 500 in the last 15, 20 years, right? And so if you had started out, right, like 15, 20 years ago, right, and you just bought like, it's not even like the older stuff, right? It's like the mid-vintage stuff. Like Diamond and Pearl and all that, right? Which at the time didn't do well. It didn't do that well, right? And then you just held on to it. It would have done better than your Apples, your Nvidias, right? Your all these like things are in the AI, so-called AI bubble now, right?
Right.
It would have outperformed all of that. It would have outperformed even like Bitcoin in the last like 5 to 10 years.
Right. Yeah, not financial advice here, yeah. So don't dump your whole traditional go all in Pokemon since it's not financial advice.
Past results is not indicative of future results.
Yes, coming from a consultant, that's so true. And speaking about boom and bust, you know, and I think TCG KL was in September.
November.
November. That was so recent actually. And it's so many people. All right. If I'm someone new to this hobby, and I'm going to this card shows, whichever it is, it can be one at Pasar TCG or this TCG KL. What can I expect? What do I prepare? What do I need to, mental prep kind of thing before I go into these places?
I think there's not much prep that you really need to do, right? It's just like any other expo. There are a lot of vendors who just come to like one place to sell, and actually it's quite good for the consumer because then you've got all sorts of products available, right? Like we mentioned, thousands and thousands of singles and slabs, right? They're all going to be there, right? And it's also a bit more competitive for the vendors, right? So generally, if you're looking to sell cards, right, you can go walk around, do rounds, and compare who's going to give you the best price. So it's quite good. For me, these kind of conventions and events, right, they are very good for those people who are looking for very niche very specific types of cards, right? That you wouldn't ordinarily be able to find like on Facebook or in your neighborhood card shop, right? Then you go there, you're definitely gonna find something that's quite rare. At these kind of events, right? And you also get to meet a lot of people, and I think a lot of the fun of it is bringing a binder and then trying to do your master set and trying to fill it up with all the things that you're looking for. That's actually quite hard to find, right? And most of the joy is in completing the master sets for me, right? At least, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like some like the current set I'm doing, Mega Dream. Finding the holos are the more pain than the ARs. Those are harder to find.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, actually, the things that are really hard to find, it's not the big hits, right? It's actually the random holos and reverse holos. Yeah.
So where do I go?
Yeah.
If people don't pull that, or people pull and they don't keep that or whatsoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, one more thing I'm just quite interested in is, what are some of the, let's say I'm coming to Pokemon, I want to know what is the hot thing right now. What's hot in Pokemon? English, Japanese, what sets?
I'd say at the moment, right? I mean, of course, English and Japanese are always going to be very hot, right?
Yeah.
But at the moment, the thing that's always very hot is always going to be the most recent sets, right? So at the moment, it's Mega Dream,
right?
Just came out, right? And in about 2 to 3 months time, it's going to be Ascended Heroes, which is like the English version of Mega Dream. That'll come out like end of January, mid-February. All right, so it follows a little bit of like these hype cycles, almost, right? The latest sets will of course be the hottest. Right before the set, it always commands the highest price for the people who they want like to get it the first to get it, the earliest to get it, and then these will always this type of timing and product will always command a premium, right? So at the moment, I'd say English and Japanese very hot. Chinese products actually were very, very hot recently, right? But it's kind of cooled off a little bit. I think mostly just because the Chinese market kind of discovered Pokemon, TCG, and then discovered English and all that, right? So the market was like pumping really hard.
You have the whole of China just entering.
Yeah. You do, right? And then now it's kind of cooling off a little bit. That's why we're seeing a little bit of a correction,
right?
But Pokemon TCG is very resilient. Right?
Okay.
So it will probably continue to do well, grow, right? And then you just follow the cycles of hype for the new sets that are being released, right? And then eventually they're going to release a set that's kind of not as good, right? And then people are going to be like, I'm going to leave the hobby, and they're going to leave for a little bit, but they always like come in and out a bit, right? When new stuff comes, right? So you might actually have like periods of where it's very quiet, right? Like consecutive sets that were not very good. Then suddenly they drop a really good set, and everybody just comes back, right? And then your market pumps again.
Right. So would you consider the latest set good set?
Ascended Heroes, Mega Dream, amazing set.
Amazing set. So stock up everything, your whole life savings put into it. No, I'm just joking. But
my whole life savings are in it.
I personally think it's a good set too. I'm trying to master set it. And I think with this, when you talk about this whole thing, it's about community. Right, it's about meeting new people. I would have met you if I didn't get into the hobby, I would have known your story and everything. And when I go to card shows, it's not about just finding the cards. It's about the vendors you meet,
Yeah. A lot of the fun is actually in the negotiation. I love negotiating with the customers, right? Then they're gonna throw you some price, and then you're gonna try and meet somewhere, and that interaction is actually very is very fun, right? And then you meet all sorts of different type of people, and then you actually learn all the skills, right? And it's very transferable as well. It's very, very transferable as well, right? So I've actually like started to nego on a lot of other things in other parts of my life now as well, right?
You learn a lot about sales, negotiation, and relationship building, all this kind of thing.
Management, yeah. How to find the supply networks, right? And I learned a bit of international logistics as well.
Yeah. Taxation.
Yeah, tax and like how to route the products, where to find the products, how to not get scammed overseas, right?
Right. And so, what are the most interesting deals that you have done?
Most interesting deals that I've done. Most interesting deals I've done. Probably I'd say all deals are kind of interesting in their own way, right? Because different people bring different kind of products. And then you're trying to like justify a valuation for some of these products, right? When they're not in very good condition. So you all that price where you talked about spot market, right? It's all that's near mint, like the best condition cards, right? Then when they bring you like some cards that are a little bit
dented,
scratched up, creased somewhere, right? How do you value that, right? And then so that discussion is quite interesting. And then I think also coin flipping is kind of interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so I've got like some stuff in my shop where it's got a little sticker there, and if it's got that sticker there, that means you can come and flip double or nothing. So you can walk away free, get that card for free, or you could pay double for it and then go out, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of fun.
So that was actually what I was alluding to. Has anyone tried that?
Yeah. I've lost a lot of money. Yeah, but I've also made some money out of it, right? Most of the time, I think not a lot of people are very daring to do zero or double or nothing flips. But I've actually been offered like triple or nothing flips, right? And I didn't want to take it because the quantum was too large.
Right.
Yeah, the guy that came and he wanted to buy something like 5, 6, 10,000 worth of stuff, right? And he was like, oh, triple or nothing. He just wanted to flip, right?
That's like 30K or zero.
Yeah, 30K or zero, right? And I mean, it makes sense for me to flip, but I'm not going to flip that, right? I'm not going to flip that. I'm not going to 50-50 that, right? And recently there was a 500 ringgit card. Did double nothing flip.
Yeah,
I lost that. Right?
So I
lost that. Yeah,
so
it's
done.
free. It was free. Yeah. Then there was a 260 ringgit Dark Dragonite vintage card as well. That double nothing we also lost that. Right. But I have double nothing some slabs, right? And I've won some of those flips.
Right. So actually, yeah, the flipping a coin thing is something that I've seen very interesting. If you can do it in a business deal, that would be damn interesting, right?
I don't know how to justify it to my accountant.
So yeah, we lost, just put it in the miscellaneous column.
Yeah, that's my accountant's problem.
Okay, and I think before we end, we're gonna rip some packs later. But before we end, what is, let's say, one last, advice they can give people who are just entering the market or just starting back in the hobby already, let's say, two sides, just starting and being in the hobby for quite some time?
I think just have fun. It's not that serious, right? Enjoy yourself. Spend responsibly. Really, really, please spend responsibly, right? Because this can be a little bit of a rabbit hole, right? When you start ripping.
Yeah.
And don't think too much about it. It's not that deep, right? It's actually got a lot more depth than I expected it to be, but it's also not that deep, right? Just enjoy yourself.
Right.
Just enjoy yourself, right? Yeah.
All right, nice. So before we end, you want to introduce what is this?
Oh yeah, we're doing some Christmas mystery packs here. I hand packed all this, by the way. Yeah, so I tied the ribbon, I packed the thing, right? I bought the wrapping paper from Kinokuniya.
Oh.
Right? And then we basically put 2 packs in there. It could be 2 out of the 7 packs. Evolving Skies, 10% chance, that's the one you want. It's like 220 ringgit pack.
Yeah. If I'm getting that, I'm not opening it.
No, open it. Open it.
Okay.
Open it, bro. You're getting it for like $100 for 2 packs, and you're getting Evolving Skies. Open it, right? So there's Evolving Skies. There's Chilling Rain, also very sought after, right? These are like sort of vintage. Some of the more modern sets: Phantasmal Flames, Mega Base Set, Journey Together, Destined Rival, Surging Sparks, right? So it could be 2 of any of these 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forgot to bring you the free Bingsu voucher, but there's also a free Bingsu voucher that comes with this, $25, right? I'll send one to you later on, right? So for $100, you get 2 packs and a free Bingsu voucher, and
I think it's worth it.
It's totally worth it.
It's totally
worth it, right? So
So we're gonna rip this. Okay, let's see what's inside first.
I'll be getting Evolving Skies.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip his Kinokuniya.
I didn't rig it, by the way. I took a random one from the box.
Shit.
So it's not rigged.
I was hoping you're rigging. Okay.
Gotta be fair, bro. Gotta be fair.
What do we get here? Oops, it's a bit tight. I'll open it more. Later got it loose. Okay, we have a pack of Journey Together.
Yeah, Journey Together. Looks like it.
And Destined Rivals.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to rip the Destined Rivals. I'll give you the Journey Together. We're gonna rip
Yeah, you want to rip the cooler one, right? Yeah, the Team Rocket.
Yeah, Team Rocket. So, okay, let's say someone's new to this, first time getting a pack. How does someone rip English packs?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people struggle a little bit, right? But actually, there's a little trick. So you grab it from the top here.
Right.
This top here, right? Over here, the top here. Then you hold the spine here. And you pull it open, the little hole there that comes out. Right? Stick a finger in there and then just split it open.
All right, so the top hole over here.
Like that. Right. Okay, and then just split down the spine. And then we got this thing called a card trick. Modern sets, it's like 1 card to the front. Some of the older ones will do like 4 cards to the front. So just take out the code card. Code card.
Okay, take out the code card.
Take out the code card. Put it down. Take out the first card. Put it in front.
Okay, he's going to show you. So we're going to look into this camera and he's going to show you how you do the...
So grass energy. Got clink, clang.
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 Not pot clang.
And then we've got a ticket. Got a combustion. Yep, combustion. Reverse hollow. If there's a hit, it'll be in the next one or the next one after or the one after. Nope, no hit. And no hit. Kung pao.
We got nothing there.
Bad luck.
Bad luck.
Bad luck. Hopefully you do better.
Okay, so now we're going to this camera. So we took out a code card and then, so 2 cards. Right.
Well, first card, 1 card.
1 card.
1 card to the front.
1 card to the front. And then, okay, so I'll just, yeah. Oh, he makes it look so easy. Can't even hold it together, man. Honestly, I can't even see what card is that.
I've ripped hundreds of packs.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Don't live.
So you don't yet.
Cynthia's Carbide.
Yeah, Quilava.
Kulava. Like he sees the outline, he know what card it is. Nidorina.
Orbido, yeah. Team Rocket's Proton. This is a playable card.
Oh, this is a playable card, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
Matang.
gonna. Okay, so how many more do we go until I get something that
So it's if you have a hit, it'll be the one after this or the one
after
like,
this, after this?
the one after this. Yeah,
So
the
what's
one
this?
after
What am I getting here? What's this? Combusken.
Yeah, reverse hollow Combusken. Reverse hollow Feebas.
And
Nothing.
Nothing.
We got
Ah.
nothing. Kumpao. At least he gets a 25 ringgit Bingsu voucher.
yeah, you know.
Alright.
Okay. Cool. Thanks so much.
Alright.
So yeah, this happens. So I think every time you see on live stream people actually opening like really good packs, I think people only show what hits they get, and you know.
Yeah, most of the time it's gonna be like this. Right? I'd say about 60% of the time.
Okay.
For modern sets, it's gonna be like this. Right. There's like another 20% you get like a base normal EX, right? And then like the really good stuff is like 1 out of 5.
Okay. So you,
Thereabouts, you know.
But-
1 out of 5.
okay, one last thing before I end. English and Japanese sets, we have different pull rates and everything.
Yeah.
What are the difference?
Well, English, there's no guarantee of any hit in any particular box or pack, right? But in Japanese, I think just by law in Japan, right, they have to guarantee something in the box, right? So generally you get like maybe like 3 ARs, like 2 SRs, right, as a guarantee in the box, right? The Mega Dream has like a MA, right? But SARs, SIRs, right? Those really the most valuable cards in the set, right? Those are not guaranteed. Those are never guaranteed, right? So it's like a randomized chance in all the packs, right? They make it like 0.8% chance to get SIR, right? Any SIR, and then they will randomize it. Some people say that they actually seed the hits, right? I'm not sure about the seeding, but you know, they do make it fair. The Pokemon company does make it fair, right? So the random odds, fair odds in any given sealed product.
Right. So speaking about that, I actually brought a Japanese product,
Mega Dream.
Mega Dream. So we have this over here. And because it's the Christmas season, we are giving away 1 box of this, all right, for free. Just for you. But what you need to do is you need to follow him, Champions Legacy. You know, everything's down below in the description. All the terms and conditions down there. Champions Legacy, A to Z Podcast, and AE Collectibles. And also comment down below what's your favorite Pokemon, right? Like for him, it's Wooper. You
Love
know,
Wooper.
he
Very cute.
loves Wooper. I
Very
kind of like
cute.
Meowth, but you know, Rayquaza's a bit more cooler. So I think I relate with Aloysius right there.
Yeah.
And since we have some more time, we're gonna open this.
Are we? Oh,
Let's do it.
Oh my god.
So you can see what hits you get. So just now we opened the English pack, and now we're opening a Japanese pack. So you'll be curious what shrink we're talking about, what non-shrink. This is what we call the shrink pack, where there is the wrapper all around it. And if you want to invest in something like this, just make sure like the wrapper, everything is there's no holes and everything correct.
Yeah, make sure it's intact. Shrink products do the best
right in the long term.
in the long term.
And so with this, you say that it's guaranteed hits
yeah,
inside,
there's some guaranteed hits in there.
right? So
There's a guaranteed MA, there's
Guaranteed
guaranteed
MA.
SRs, right?
so every time someone breaks the seal, means the product is now worthless as a
But it's not worthless, it's just worth less.
less, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I? Oh, it's not. Usually have a blade for this, right?
Yeah, usually we have
And my fingers are sharp enough. So there we go. This is about 400 in the market.
Yeah, thereabouts.
So this podcast episode is the most expensive to be produced in A to Z podcast.
It's an expensive hobby.
It's an expensive hobby.
But you do get your money back if you trade correctly.
If you trade correctly. Okay, so we just put the English one aside for now before we end.
Actually, quite a lot of times people they do the trading so they can finance their ripping.
Ah, okay.
Right?
So that is
that's
one.
how it works, right?
Okay, so in the Japanese set, so this is a high pack set, a high class
High-class
set.
set, yeah.
And usually, like boxes, they'll have 30 packs. This one has only 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see over here, when you have 10 packs over here.
They have more cards in there as well.
Yeah, they have, so usually you have 5 per pack. This one
usually
has
it's 5.
10
This
per
is got
pack.
like 10
All right, so
per pack.
we're gonna split half to rip. Obviously, if there's any hits, it's mine.
Of course.
I paid for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But okay, so just now we talked about English where you can actually rip from the top. Japanese, how do you do it?
Same thing. Right, you can rip it from the top, right? But actually, in Japanese, right, you see that there are these like serrated edges here,
Okay.
right? The little holes on the side here, you see it, right?
Mhm, yeah.
So those are just to make it easier for you to rip it open.
Okay.
So you just grab it from the side as well, right here, and then you just pull it open this way.
Okay. From the side and
Just pull it open this way, right? That's what the holes are for, just to make you pull it open.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go with you first, and then so what are is there any card trick for Japanese?
This one I think is 2 to the front, right? So it's different set, different card trick,
Okay.
right? So 2 to the front. I hope it's correct, right?
All right,
hope
then
it's correct, right?
we'll do this camera.
Right, we'll do this camera. There you go. Ariana. The ice cream one. But it's in Japanese, suddenly I forget what.
It's okay.
All right, there you go.
I searched by the code.
Yes, I do as well. That's a hollow. So hopefully next one is something. Nope, another hollow. So yeah, probably just like a normal.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, this is one of the
hit.
All right.
Hit.
Actually got
There should be something behind as well. Yeah, there you go. EX. Nice. Did you bring sleeves?
yeah, of course, when you rip packs, you have to bring sleeves. So these are what we call sleeves. So this podcast is a bit longer. We're going to introduce you A to Z of Pokemon cards, and it's everything. So sleeves, top loaders, you can get one of these to put. I like to bring it because it's easy.
Protect your cards, guys.
Protect your cards. So I'm going to let you sleeve it.
Mhm.
There you go.
There you go. Just a couple sleeves. This one doesn't need to be top loaded. Yeah, generally this is an EX, so we don't have to top load EXs. They're not very worth much, right? But you do want to sleeve them. You do want to sleeve
All
them.
right, so that.
Yeah, just need to load it.
Okay. So that's usually considered a hit, and
Yes.
AR is a hit.
AR is a hit. EX is kind of a hit, right?
If-
they are nice EXs. They are very nice EXs as well.
Okay, so now I'll do it on mine.
Yeah.
So what are the hit rates for this? How many ARs are in like one box?
Mega Dream, I think there's 3 ARs.
So you did 2, right?
Two
to the front.
Two to the front. But I do believe Mega Dream has 3 ARs.
3 ARs per
Yeah,
box.
2 SRs maybe.
Okay, we got a trumpet.
I can't keep up, sometimes there's so many sets.
Yeah. Either I have short-sighted or this is kind of far. So it should be after this, right?
Yeah.
After the holo.
Well, if after this is another hollow,
There's another holo.
then it'll be after this.
What's up?
Oh no, it's just a
okay.
normal another
Yeah,
hollow.
these are the one that actually I'm interested in. It's damn hard to get.
These are hard to find. Yes, these are hard to find. Mega.
I think that's the last one. So every
Mega
set has
Guardian one.
one of this.
Yeah, at least
I mean,
it's going to be at least one of this.
It's guaranteed hit for every box. So if you actually buy a whole box, you definitely get one of this.
Yeah, you definitely get at least one of those.
And with Mega Dream, they've been saying that there has been the error print as well for Mega Dream.
Yes, there are like error print in the texture. So it's like it's Japanese words there, right? But like the texture print, right, is for Chinese.
Right.
And those will go for like significantly more value.
Oh,
Because,
serious?
Yeah, those because error prints generally are more softer as well.
Ah,
Because
okay.
they're rarer as well. So this one is just this one's okay.
This is normal.
Yeah, it's a normal one. Mega Gardevoir.
Nice.
Yeah, this is gonna be a promo in English.
Oh,
It'll
so
come out
ETB.
No. This will be a
UBC
like a
box.
collection box.
Oh,
promo,
okay.
Right. So that will come out. I think this will be poster collection
Ah,
right,
okay.
in
English.
February.
Okay, in February.
March, February.
Right. So yeah,
How's me now?
your side.
I hope we get SAR. SAR, yeah.
I have been getting very good hits with this box. So I opened 4. I actually got 3 SARs.
3 SARs.
3 out of 4. I got Iris, Mewtwo, and Enzora.
That's not guaranteed. Yeah, that's not normal. Also.
It's not normal. It's really not normal.
Right. It's very, very not normal, right? So we got energy, bag, magneton. Okay. Cramorant. Yeah, Cramorant. Oh, that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
These hollows are what you're looking for.
I get excited when I see that,
There you
man.
go, just EX.
Gallipot.
And oh, SR. Yeah, this is also guaranteed at least one
Oh,
in the box. One or two.
dude, I've been getting a lot of... So in that 3 SAR boxes, I've got the same SR, which is that watch thing.
Mhm.
So this is something new I like.
Yeah, I never pulled this before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have now.
And my first pack of Mega Dream.
What do you
pulled a Mega Dragonite SIR. My first pack. Not the first box. This is why I opened like 2 packs.
Well, obviously I'm a bit behind. Okay, we're doing it on this side.
These are nice.
But with Master Set, you actually need to collect every single thing. So anything new that I have not pulled, it's actually nice, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about if you're collecting for a full set instead of just the hits, you value like different things that usually people won't.
Yes.
Right. So we got...
It's hard to find because technically they don't have any value, so no one keeps them.
Yeah. So I've been going to shops and saying, hey, do you have your bulk? You know, can I just
for the
Yeah.
hollows, please.
literally for the holos. All right. I think we got... Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, Duck Trio.
that's true. And Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
Yes. If we get all the hits up front, does that mean the last 3 packs we can just keep it?
There's always a chance
To get
because the hyper rares, the golden Dragonite, right? It's
Oh.
not part of the normal mapping, so that one will be like in a random pack. So if you keep it sealed, right, you're foregoing your chance to get those.
Okay, so open everything.
Never keep it sealed, guys.
Never keep it-
except for investment purposes. Never keep it sealed, right? Always rip all the packs.
Okay. We have a hit every single pack recently. It's 4 out of 4.
I think EXs they are guaranteed.
No, we had SR, AR. Oh, yeah.
This one didn't have any EX, right?
Yeah, we have got that.
Yeah, thanks. I can't keep up. Like, they're always changing the rules.
Yeah,
It used to
the
be like
rules.
one SR, and then now there's more right, item SR and all that, right? There you go. Oh, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna swap hand.
As you can see, it's done it for a long time.
Veteran? Yeah, veteran. Oh. EX. There you
Yep.
go. EX. Ceruledge.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. So we're down to the last 5 packs. So this means half of the box is already done. Okay, 2 cards. Go 1, 2. And people do actually buy like this kind of playable cards, right? Because some of them they actually play the game, and that's where it started. Actually, all started from playing the game. Then only came into the investment part of things.
Yeah, I mean, it started like a tabletop card game, right? And then progressively became like this whole humongous collector's market. Ooh, very good, very nice. Right. So
You go back to its roots,
yeah, we go back to roots.
and there's been a lot more people coming back into the game as well. Yeah.
Yes, the game is popular. It's still played in the tournaments that with prize pools
It's
of like tens of
huge.
thousands, right? Like thousands of people show up for tournaments.
Right.
Like exclusive cards given out at the tournaments as well, promos and all that.
And
So
those cost quite a nice penny as well.
for the right collector, the right buyer, they will they'll fetch a very good price.
Right. Yeah. Let's go. Last 4.
All right. We hope for the SAR. We also hope to see the
That'll be
golden Dragonite.
4 out of 5 SARs.
The golden Dragonite. I really hope so. I really hope we get it.
Yeah.
It's dropping all that. Right, clumsy. I don't know. Oh, it's a lizard. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's a nice.
I want that.
Yeah, you looking for the this
I was
this is the
looking for that.
hollows, right? Yeah. EX, and then this. That should be.
Yeah.
Mhm. The Japanese cards not admissible to tournament locally, right? But in Japan they use this obviously, right?
Okay, we're down to the last 3. And we have the 2 cards again. So do I consider this as business expense, right? If I rip cards on my podcast.
You get the receipt, you give it to your accountant.
It's creating content, yeah?
It is. Marketing expense.
Okay, I think it's after this, right? Should be.
Nice. The other SR.
Yeah, SR. So there's two
Yes,
SR.
yes, there's two SRs.
Oh,
There should be one item SR and one like not item SR.
so but if you get that, does that mean you don't get your SAR? No.
No. There's always chance for 3. Right?
Oh,
There's always an off chance for 3. And then again, right, the golden ones, the hyper rares, those are
anywhere.
not part of the mapping, right?
Correct.
Could be in any pack. And God pack also is not part of the mapping. And
Oh,
there's
so
God
it can
pack
be.
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's God packs here. They got packs here.
All right, so that would be a God pack.
Oh, I hope. I hope. I really hope. If it's a God pack, I'll scream.
Yeah, thanks. Scream on my behalf.
It's not a God pack. Hop stress fan. Okay, let's see. Go back. Or Mimikyu.
I kind of like Mimikyu, quite cute.
Yeah, Mimikyu is a real Mimikyu. I think the backstory for Mimikyu is kind of sad also.
Yeah, I've heard. Oh,
yeah, and it's Mimikyu.
speaking about Mimikyu, right?
Yeah, speaking about Mimikyu, yeah.
All right, what do we have next?
And EX.
EX.
I think the textures on these are really nice, go really hard.
So with that, actually, this pack has quite a lot of hits. We have
the high class
SRs.
sets. Telling you, the high class sets, they got the hits.
They are the hits.
They got the hits.
So it's a nice opening experience compared to English, I would say. Right.
It's English, you could get nothing.
You get nothing.
You got nothing.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
So is that why English cards has that premium? They're more expensive just because,
Yes.
right?
There's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee.
Right. It's a lot harder to find. So.
Oh, I've been looking for this.
Which one's that?
Dude, this is just a normal
It's
card.
common.
Dude,
Yeah.
I opened 5 boxes. I haven't got even one of this. Okay, yeah, Pinsir.
Snom. I like Snom also. So cute.
And gold. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole set.
I had fun.
Huh,
I love
I had fun too. It's a good set.
It is. It's an amazing set. It's
Right.
really an amazing set. I think this would do really well in the future also. And the art is really good. And the size of the set, there's so many cards in there, right? So, it was a lot of it was printed in Japan,
All right.
but it's still being like moving off the shelves really quickly, just because it's very sought after. You got your Dragonite, you got your Gengar, there's a Pikachu, right?
Yeah.
And Zoroark.
All right. So it comes to the end of the podcast. We're not going to rip any more packs. But if you want to win one of this, do join our giveaway. We're giving out 1 box of this. All you have to do is follow me, A to Z Podcast, AE Collectibles, as well as Champion's Legacy. And do visit their Pasar TCG shop. Go buy some, singles, whatever from there.
Singles,
Flip in for it, take some of this money.
Yes, flip the coin.
All right. So if you like this, like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next podcast.